Hello Year 10. Next lesson we are going to be answering the question, how does Robert Browning present the theme of madness in Porphyria's Lover? Last lesson we discussed the key words which you need to underline in a question. I'd like you to pick out the key words in this question and annotate what you think the words are asking you to do. This homework is focused on developing the how and considering the techniques that Robert Browning has used in the poem to present the theme of madness. Your job is to come to the next lesson with some annotations which analyse how madness has been presented, and we will then be trying to evaluate how effective Robert Browning has been at using these techniques. Write down a list of words to describe madness. Here's one to start you off. Now try to think of at least 3 colours that come to mind when you think of the word madness. Remember, we need to explore the theme that the writer is presenting, so we can't just talk about madness. The words that you've just listed are going to help you to think about the theme in a bit more detail. You must think of your own words, don't copy mine. Now, let's look at the poem. On your first reading, try to work out the basics: who, what, where, why, when, and how. Write your first ideas around your poem. Remember, try not to get bogged down with individual words that you don't understand. Use a dictionary or try to get the general gist of what the writer is saying. Now, let's look at the poem in a bit more detail. Before reading the poem, notice the date, 1812 to 1889, that Robert Browning lived. So we're still in the Romantic period of poetry, so all of your contextual knowledge will still be applicable to this poem. As you read through the poem, highlight any words that link to your previous list. My example was the word trapped. The words straight, shut, withdrew, and untied all link to the word trapped. Now that you have your words, we need to annotate them to analyse what we think they mean. Remember, the first stage of your annotations is always thinking about the connotations of the word in general. The word straight could connote uniformity, predictability, or to do something with intent. Now you need to put it into context and pick the words which you think best fits in with the context of the poem. I think it's the word intent in this case. Porphyria is gliding in and shutting the door straight away, demonstrating the intent behind her actions. So your next annotation is always bringing the word into context with the actual poem, and more specifically, the line and what's being said. It's helpful to use a different colour at this stage to separate your annotations. Now follow this 2-step process for all of the words that you have underlined. You need to work your way through the entire poem. Good luck. You now need to bring all of your ideas together and make sure that you're still focusing on the question. For this part of your homework, please create some bullet points in your exercise book. Let's remind ourselves of the question. How does Robert Browning present the theme of madness in Porphyria's Lover? Now, you've stemmed away from the word madness because you've explored the theme. We now need to bring it back to the question. Through Porphyria's entrance, Robert Browning is setting the scene. She shuts the door straight away with intent. There is no option for the speaker to leave, and he is trapped. This creates tension with the reader, as she glides in a ghost-like way, we are questioning her arrival. The combination of feeling tense and questioning leads us to this sense of madness. What is happening? Who is she? And why is she there? For the last part of your homework, you now need to read through all of your annotations and select 3 points which you think will help you to answer the question. Number these 1 to 3 and you can write in note form. Just make sure you include your quotations of the quotes and the effect they have on the reader. Remember to use the success criteria that you have in your exercise book if you get stuck. Now that you've identified and analysed the writer's use of language, next lesson we'll be looking at evaluating how effective your analysis is and trying to improve it.